Welcome back to our Skylanders Nuzlocke.
Welcome back to episode 2 of our Skylanders Nuzlocke, and we have an absolute banger of an episode today as we start to take on Chaos and his evil minions. Now, I've been really looking forward to going back to Skylanders Adventures. The last time I played this game was back in lockdown. I decided to pull out my old figures and go through the game, and also tried finding some figures that I hadn't had before. Now, from a car boot, only a couple of weeks ago, I picked up Dino Rang, Lightning Rod, and these characters I hadn't really used for the first time, which is why I wanted to get these guys straight into this Nuzlocke. And I'm really enjoying Dino Rang, and I love how his boomerangs go right around him, kind of causing like a nice bit of a force field. It also kind of means that if you miss with your first shot, because they come back, you have a second chance of taking out an enemy. And if you're playing Skylanders, you definitely always have to have a Spyro on your team. And Pepper is unlike any other. He is an absolute boss. I love Spyro's moveset. He's quick, he hits hard, he can hit and run. He's just an absolutely fantastic Skylander. And Gilgrunt and Trigger Happy, and those long range guys have been amazing. Lightning Rod, really, really strong. I've absolutely loved using Zeus. The only downer with Zeus sometimes I find is he's a little bit slow in his moveset. But other than that, he's been very, very useful. And I have to make sure that I am also levelling up Nami, which is my Stealth Elf. Now, Stealth Elf being a physical attacker means that she ends up in danger a little bit more, so I have to kind of plan when to use her a little bit more. And if she's getting surrounded, using that ability to drop the fake version and kind of walk away from the enemies and then get them from behind has been my tactic so far. Now, there's something about this game that just keeps bringing me back to Skylanders. I think it's the magic of the Toys to Life element that just keeps drawing me back in. Let me know which Skylander is your favourite. Leave a comment down below and let us know. I want to build a Skylanders community where we can share movesets and upgrade paths for these Skylanders. Let's see if we can build a nice community around this game. And there's just something about these figures, when they're sitting on my shelf, they just look more alive than my other collectibles. Now, as we've been going through the chapters, I started to notice that the enemies are hitting a little bit harder, which now has me thinking about Camelot and Paul Tifa. They're still level 1. Everybody else is getting to like level 3, level 4, and I really don't want to have any Skylanders left behind. Because the downer is, if we keep going through these chapters and those guys don't get to level 2, level 3, all of a sudden we're not going to be able to use them, because as soon as they're in, they're going to get absolutely nailed by some of these villains. So I got that in the back of my head that if I can, I'm going to start the level off with Camelot, make him go for as long as possible. Otherwise, he's just going to get absolutely left behind by the other guys. Because everybody else is kind of hitting like a truck. They can deal with a lot of enemies. Another thing I'm really interested in is seeing whether all of these Skylanders, by the time we finish Spyro's adventure, whether they'll actually all have their upgrades or not. Because once you've actually spent all their money on their upgrades, I always find that the money then becomes quite useless. I know there are shops and you can buy extra hats and some extra treasures, and also in this game, I'm pretty sure in this game you can buy keys that unlock the special locks, so you don't have to do the puzzles, which we might do just to help speed up the Nuzlocke a little bit. But other than that, as soon as they spend all their money, extra money is kind of a waste on these guys, so I'm going to make sure that we spread that money out and everybody can get as close to buying all their upgrades as possible. However, if we finish Spyro Skylanders Adventure and they're not all upgraded, as long as we can make it to Giants, hopefully they can then start spending that money in Giants to upgrade themselves as well. And I'm looking forward to having, because I've got the Series 2 and the Series 3 of some figures, those guys will get their wow pals. So right now, Nami, she is looking like regular Stealth Elf, but in reality, she's actually Ninja Stealth Elf. So I'm really looking forward to seeing when she gets her wow pal. I'm pretty sure it's the Lion ability or the Tiger ability. I haven't actually upgraded Stealth Elf all the way, I think, in my normal playthroughs of this game. In fact, if you can leave me a comment down below with which Skylander has the best wow pal, and then we can share them in the comment section down below, and it gives other people a chance to use that Skylander as well. And hopefully if I have it, I can put it in the next Skylanders Nuzlocke. Now, this little running demon guy had me running around for ages as I was trying to chase him. But luckily, the captain sorted that out with his long-range shooting. And this level got quite interesting because water Skylanders can swim across the water. I won't lie, I got lost because I just started swimming all over the place with the captain, and I was going to the areas where I wasn't supposed to be, and then this giant fish ate me. I completely forgot about that. And luckily that was another way of finding some extra treasure though. So the captain has now got quite a hefty amount of gold, and I'm thinking that he might be one of my fully upgraded Skylanders. And here was another one of these little running demons, which luckily Nami sorted out by creating the fake version of herself, and then we went and we caught him on the opposite side. Which is your favourite Skylanders game? Leave a comment down below and let me know. I'd love to get as many Skylanders fans as possible, so we can build a community of Skylander fans. And we got eaten again, but luckily the captain found some legendary treasure. And we started using Dundee a bit more as well, because I sort of noticed that he's still level 1, and I really could do with him getting to level 2. Especially with all of his extra boomerang moves. I was really enjoying that moveset still. Again, like I say, using the one that fires around him, so it didn't even matter if we weren't quite hitting our boomerangs. It's like a lovely force field all around him. But then we collected all 4 statues in this level, and we're ready to move on, where we get eaten again by another giant fish. And we now have to take on Chaos. And this is one of the ultimate battles. We have to go against the evil versions of the Skylanders, and this evil Zap was absolutely nailing Dundee. So it was time to go into somebody a bit quicker. We went into Tifa. Level 1 Tifa taking on this Zap. Luckily her ghost putting in a lot of work here as she shoots off her bolts of lightning, as well as getting injured by quite a few of Zap's attacks. Luckily, kept using Tifa's speed to get around the back of this Zap so he couldn't do much damage, and those ghosts putting in lots of work. And here we got a little bit risky. We kept Tifa in to make sure she could get a little bit of experience here, and then we had to deal with this massive puzzle with these sharks that started attacking Zeus. But luckily he ate some fruit. I had to take on evil Gilgrunt. And here, Zeus's speed really let him down, so it's time to go into Gizmo, who dealt with the Gilgrunt pretty well, although the Gilgrunt was hitting pretty hard. As you can see, we're poor trigger happy with a spear in him. But then it was time for the captain to take on his evil self and sort out the evil Gilgrunt. The captain then took on his own shark puzzle, and unfortunately the sharks hit me quite a bit, which left me worryingly with 4 injured Skylanders, and it's still too early to lose any Skylanders in this Nuzlocke, so we need to keep them alive. And then it was time to take on evil Slambam. The captain got straight to work, getting hit with a bit of ice there that slowed him down. He managed to eat some cheese, and I won't lie, then ended up swapping Skylanders until our hero Pepper comes in clutch, using that speed, shooting off those fireballs to take down evil Slambam. He really is the OG. And now we have to take on all 3 at once. Straight away, Pepper starts to bully the evil version of Gilgrunt, using that speed to get out of the way of many blasts from Zap and from Slambam. Pepper then leveling up to become even stronger to make sure he could hit these guys like an absolute truck. And he takes down Zap and then instantly takes down Slambam. And Pepper showing why he's such a strong Skylander. Absolutely love Spyro in this. I hope he can carry us all the way to the finish line. I will be absolutely gutted if he goes. Then, back in our hub world, we had to deal with the Clamtron 4000. Had to collect up 5 clams, and then he managed to munch up the clams to create a bomb, which we then used to blow up the tunnel and upgrade our Skylanders once again. So Gilgrunt spent all of his money, and we've chosen our path. We've gone for the Harpooner this time. Dundee managed to pick up an upgrade as well, and then it was on to Chapter 8. Once again, we started the level with Camelot because we've hardly used Camelot, and in fact, I started to notice that most of these zones haven't actually been fire or undead yet, so I started to think maybe they're being saved for later chapters. Then Dundee started to smash through the villains here, taking out the Cyclops. When those guys start spinning, they become invulnerable, and you have to be careful because it's a really easy way to get absolutely tricked by them. They can draw you in, and then you can get stuck. Which Skylander do you think has the best moveset? Leave a comment down below. For me, I think I'm probably going to be leaning towards Spyro in this playthrough. Do you agree? Leveling up to level 5, he is now my strongest Skylander at level 5, and started to take down some more Cyclopses. Zeus is now halfway to max level. The Skylander's max level in this game is 10. And Zeus absolutely nailed all of those evil chompies there. Zeus's long-range thunderbolts are absolutely making quick work of these Cyclopses here. and it's really useful that his lightning bolts stun the enemies, just to give you a little bit of time so you can get either a little bit closer or fire off even more thunderbolts. Then I had one of the hardest puzzles ever, I won't lie, I cut it down for you, but it took me a long time to fix that one. And then Tifa went to the undead zone and found a lot of enemies here to earn herself a chest. But luckily she made quick work of them, firing off lots of lightning bolts, taking out the chompy nests and the giant cyclopses. To get a rather strange hat, but we put it on anyway. Gizmo then started to unlock the very first gate, leveling up to level 4 in his amazing cowboy hat. By taking out those enemies, it then gave us the chance to break the lock on the door. It was then back into Zeus, into the air elemental zone, where we found another treasure chest and took on some more cyclopses. Gizmo then had to get involved again for the next lock on the door. Now, Trigger Happy is still one of my all-time favourite Skylanders. The way he can fire off so quick with those bullets, and when you unlock the ability for them to bounce, it makes it even more deadly. He's just a fun, versatile Skylander, and here, Zeus absolutely gets nailed by these Cyclopses. I get a bit worried. However, I think, well, maybe he can just level up. We managed to find some food, and we keep going with Zeus. But his slow speed starts to catch him out here as he starts to get nailed by a couple of Cyclopses. Because of his slow speed here, he gets nailed by this Cyclops. But then we luckily managed to eat some cake. And we level him up to level 6. Just 4 levels left on Zeus till he is max level. He then takes on some more Cyclopses. Again, that speed too slow, so we go straight back into Pepper, who makes quick work of these enemies with his speed and his long-range fireball attacks. And we rescue the gem. And luckily we now managed to upgrade our Dundee, Tifa, Zeus. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Leave a like, comment and subscribe down below. And let me know, who do you think we will lose first? Which Skylander do you think will get buried in this Nuzlocke? I'm hoping no one, but there is a good chance, especially now that the enemies are hitting even harder. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know, which is your favourite Skylander? Are you also playing through this game? Who do you want to see in future episodes? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and good night.